Welcome to session 9 of using Office 365 groups for CIS 3900 final project collaboration. So this is part 3 of using the group OneDrive. In part 1, we talked about what is a group OneDrive and how do you get to it, and how do you upload documents into it and all that sort of thing. And session 2, we talked about how to use the Office web apps to actually create and edit and view and link documents to team members and that sort of thing. And then here in session 3, we're going to talk about how to use the actual Word Office applications. So all Microsoft Office applications are integrated into OneDrive, including the group OneDrive. What that means is students and faculty and what have you can create, edit, and view project-related files in the Office application, so Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Visio, and etc. And this includes both the desktop apps, Windows and Mac, and the mobile apps. So in this session, we're going to go through, we went through the web apps in the last session. We're going to go through the desktop apps, specifically on Windows in this session, but it works, very similar on a Mac as well. So the goal of this session is that you'll learn how to use the Office applications to view, edit, create project-related Office documents with the desktop applications. So once files have either been created or uploaded to the group OneDrive, they can be open for viewing by following a simple process. Basically, when you follow this process, which I'll demo in just a second, this is going to cause the application to launch. So Word, as an example, it'll pass the OneDrive URL for the file that you're interested in down to the application when it launches. And then the application will create a web service connection back to the Office 365 service, the OneDrive service built into Office 365, to basically go get and open the file for viewing. Again, it is open for viewing by default, but there's a button that's right at the top of the thing that allows you to go into edit mode, and then you can edit it. Once the file's open, simply saving the file will automatically save the changes back to the OneDrive. So let's say that you have a 47-page Word document and you change one word on page 6. What happens is Word figures out what you've changed and only posts the changes back to the OneDrive. So this makes it really fast saving files, even if the files happen to be big. And again, the Office applications, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Visio, Publisher, Project, all support this native connection back to OneDrive and Office 365. And for those of you who don't know, all of this, the Office suite comes, is available to every NSU student through Office 365. So I don't cover it here. It's covered, I believe, in Moodle. There's or in the My Northwestern portal, there's a little document on how to, go into Office 365 and download the Office suite that includes all these applications. So let's go to demo mode here. So if you've watched the prior sessions, you recognize this. So I've logged in to Office 365. Let's discard this guy. I was part of a previous demo. I've logged into Office 365. By default, it lands on my, the Outlook web application and my inbox, my personal, RNALE 051942 at nsula.edu email mailbox. And then, I clicked on the group, and then I clicked on the files, and then it takes me here to the group OneDrive. And these are all the files in the group OneDrive. Remember that all the members of my group, which is my project team, plus Dr. Perez Mira, because they're members of the group, they can see and edit and open all these files. So you'll remember previously in the previous session, session 8, I created this document file here. So we're going to go ahead and click on it. And then just like we did last time, it opens this document in the Word Online viewer. So before, when I wanted to edit it, what I did was I just clicked edit in browser. Well, you see there's this edit in Word as well, right? And so what happens there is it tells the web browser, hey, tell Windows to open Microsoft Word and give it this URL. So I'm just going to say yes, and then what happens is Word launches. It's actually launching on another screen here, so I'll drag it over. Word launches. It puts the it grabs the file and from via the URL that was handed down, right? And then once it's here, right? So I click this, I paste this back up here so that I get it. Let's get rid of this because I don't want to keep having to do that. All right, and then you know, test 1, test 2, test 3, and so on and so forth. And change. Let's just go ahead and change some colors here. Let's make that orange. Why not? And then I'm going to save it. You see this little arrow, double circle arrow icon there. That means that when a couple of things. One, it means when I save it, it's going to save it to OneDrive. And two, it means that other users of Office 365 might be using this and opening this file at the same time I do. So it supports concurrent users. So what I mean by that is, and I'll demonstrate it here using the online viewer, but you'll just have to trust me, it works the same. And if two people are using the full application, not one browser, not one browser app, one desktop app, it works. 2 people using the browser, 1 using either or, 2 people using the desktop, 3 people, 7 people. It allows both. It allows multiple concurrent users. And when I save this thing, all right, what it's going to do is it's going to refresh the document. And so if I had this thing open in edit mode, which I'll do now, you'll see that the changes are made up there, right? And so it also says, you'll notice it says Randall Nail is editing this document, right? Because it knows I've got it open twice. And so if, for example, Francis on my team were editing this document, it would show it here. The other thing that's interesting is it shows that shows where Randall is currently editing this document. And so if I'm going to go over here and say I'll add some stuff, you notice that it's being updated in real time back over here in the online version as well. Same thing here, right? So if I update it in the web, it's going to update it here. And so basically OneDrive for Business is the service that runs back there. Word is connected to that, and any changes that are being made are sort of populated here in real time. And so this works in all type of files, right? So some of the files aren't quite real time. So for example, PowerPoint, you need to save the file first and then it'll refresh. If you're in the desktop application in Excel, for example, 2 people can't be editing the same cell at the same time. So I can be in one cell, my team member can be in another cell, but we can't be in the same cell at the same time. So there's some, various limitations. But as we looked at just now, and as we looked at in OneNote, whenever we were talking about the shared notebook, this concurrent editing makes, for a pretty powerful collaboration experience. So I'm going to go ahead and close this version of this document. I'm going to save here one more time, because we may use this in a future demo. Just to close out on the demo here, I just wanted to show that there's another way to do this, right? So I can also open here, and I can either open PowerPoint online or open in PowerPoint. And when I choose to open in PowerPoint, sort of the same, you'll see that because this is a relatively large file, this was all of our prototype diagrams, you saw it actually opening in there, right? And you see that it opened it in read-only mode, right? Just as I mentioned earlier. And here's all of our, screen prototypes for our final project. And they're all in this file. So if I were to edit one of them, and I were to, let's say, take off the S on copy right there. That's a pretty benign change, and save it back. You'll see down here it says uploading to SharePoint. We'll talk a little more about SharePoint here in the next session. But bottom line is, again, this is a big file. And remember, I told you what happens is it tries to only update the changes, right? So what's happening is on the local PC here, PowerPoint is figuring out what changed and then posting that change back up to, so what slide are we on? 14, posting that change back up to the OneDrive. So if I click here, by default, it's going to open that in the PowerPoint Online, and we'll go to slide 14. Let it open up here. Again, this is a pretty big file. It's got all the diagrams for every screen in our entire design. So here's slide 14. It'll get there in just a second. You'll see there's no S on copyright anymore. So, it's pretty straightforward, but very, very powerful what you can do with this, with OneDrive and the Office applications. And again, it pretty much works the same in every one of the Office applications. And so that makes it really nice. Visio is a little different in that it's not real time. Project, in Project, two people can't be working in the same project file, but there's a way to post the file and do other things to collaborate on it. But bottom line, some of that's a little more advanced than we're going to go into here, but using some of the links I provided to Microsoft's online guides and tutorials and things like that, you can get much more information. So hopefully, in this session, you are able to, learn how to use the Office applications themselves, the desktop applications, to create and edit project-related Office documents and save them into OneDrive and use them concurrently and all of that. So this was session 9, and it's part 3 of the OneDrive. And so next session will be section 10, and we'll go. There'll be a part 4 of OneDrive.